corners of the web, the apothecary is open. Step into the shadows where the candles glow. Plague Doctor Mask and the many others you know.
Aha. Yes, I am first.
In the cases,
You all shall bow before my greatness.
bones on the shelf. Scary games brewing. Come lose yourself. Welcome to OblivyOnyx, the Gothic arcade. Potions of laughter and jump scares made. Witchy and wondrous, come see what's new. This is the stream that casts a spell on you. Channel points ready, dare you redeem. Summon a scream in the heart of the stream. Mom of the macabre, host of the night, guiding the chat through shadows and fright. Welcome to OblivyOnyx, the Gothic arcade. Potions of laughter and jump scares made. Witchy and wondrous, come see what's new. This is the stream that casts a spell on you. The apothecary's open. Stay for the fright. OblivyOnyx streaming deep into the night.
Hi, everybody. Can you guys hear me?
I'm about to plaster my pussy to the sidewalk for some loose change, okay?
God. Oh my God. Thank you for the shout out so much. Thank you, thank you.
Well, god damn.
Oh, God damn. Guys, I have not seen my hair this long and blonde in so long. It's gonna be a face camless stream, guys. Face camless. Just kidding. I got all dressed up in the cosplay. Here you go. How does it look? How do I look? I look so weird in blonde hair. I look so weird in blonde hair, actually. I miss my black and gray hair. I feel so weird in blonde hair because I'm so pale. No, I really like this cosplay though. Look at this. Look at this arm sleeves. They're so cute. Oh, there's Turtle. Hi. You say hi, everybody. Say hi. That's my best friend. Look at her. Thank you, guys. I never show this much skin, so. Excuse me. Hi, Turtle. Hello. Dylan should have been like. I mean, that just takes what, a button up and a jacket? Thank you, Rags. Thank you. It's very cute. It's a very cute cosplay. The hair is so long. Like, look how long this wig is. It's insane. It's so long. I left!
Where am I?
Where am I? Where am I? I got a drink. Probably shouldn't drink before a couple rounds of frag, but... Thank you, Left! I think I need to make my necklace higher? Maybe? Stay safe, Rags! I'll message you, and I meant to message you back today, but I got busy. But I will message you, because I saw you message me last night. How do I... Where is this necklace clasp, first off? There it is. Maybe that'll make it... You can't see my necklace because of my tattoo. No! I want my necklace seen. I really like Misa's necklace. It's so cute. Ooh. Bye, Rags. Have a good trip. Be safe. Is that better? I feel like maybe. What the bruh? I can't fix it to save my life. Apparently. Who is playing frag with me? This wig is so yellow. It drives me crazy. I'm trying to do the necklace, guys. Patience, please. Cut me some slack. Did I do it? You know what? That's better. That's fine. That's fine right there.
Yeah, you're fucking muted.
That's fine right there. Hi, Magic! How are you? The pigtails. I can't with the pigtails. How are you? Hello! Okay, I will... These are gonna bother me tonight. I could feel it. I know it. It's gonna bother me so badly. I will open frag. We shall open frag. You actually can't hear me, Magic? Don't fuck with me. Everybody else can hear me. Right? Oh my god. No, everybody else can hear me. Oh, everybody else. Yeah, everybody else can hear me. I'm sorry. Oh my god. I opened frag and it was so loud in my ears. Do this. And we'll do this. What's chat saying? It's not funny to make her stress unless it's in game. She said, shh, let me be funny. He always stresses me out. Him and Soul and Soldier, all of them stress. They stress me out. Let me go hop into this. Okay. I'm gonna mute so nobody can hear me. Oh my god. When am I receiving my 8x10 portrait? I'm not sending a picture of me in cosplay. You weirdo. I stress people out just by existing. I feel that. I feel that. Guys, I feel so out of place. I keep touching the hair because I'm not used to the blonde. I'm a natural blonde, but I dye my hair. And I'm not used to being blonde anymore. This is weird. It weirds me out. Just the wig a little bit. How's that look? You look so different, but in such a good way. I don't think it suits me. I'm so pale. Like my natural blonde hair is like an ashy strawberry blonde. You know, I have very many different tones in my hair. That's fine, but this blonde is insane. It's just it's crazy to me. I'm waiting. Oh, JoJo's here. Oh. Hello.
Sentry,
Hello.
turn on your camera right now, or else turn it on. Turn on your camera.
Mic on.
Magic, I have a gift for you. Here you go. What'd you say?
I didn't have my mic on.
Oh, I didn't hear you come into the room. The the finger is for Magic. A gift for him. We'll let it stay up for a minute. Usually it's reserved for Soul or Soldier. Cool, thanks. That's all you have to say? You didn't like my gift? What do you mean? It was very heartfelt. Right back at ya. I'm joking. I know you're joking. I know you're joking. I would never take you seriously. I think we're waiting for Chessie, no?
Yeah.
My Jessica. Where are you?
Always late. Always late.
You be nice to her.
How did you forget,
Who forgot what?
Tessie?
What do you mean forgot? Where?
She forgot to reinstall Enshrouded.
I literally messaged you guys and gave you a reminder earlier
That's
today.
what reminded me to do it.
I messaged you guys and I said, don't forget to re-download Enshrouded, make sure it's updated, and
The
do the
shaders took forever.
The shaders took so long. I opened the game at like 1 o'clock because it took so long. It was insane. She'll get here fast. I know she will. Oh my god, so many stickers. Oh my god, the train is so cute.
You know, do a warm-up round?
Can I finish my stickers?
Oh.
Please. I'm almost done, I promise.
Oh.
I promise. I'm doing it by batch and not one at a time, I promise. I swear.
Dude, I got on Enshrouded, and it looks so much more beautiful with my new graphics card.
Oh, good. Yeah, I upped my graphics one level up. Yeah, I think it's like quality plus or something like that. And I'm hoping it runs smoothly.
I don't know why Once Human doesn't run smoothly for me.
I mean, some games just might be weird. Look at Inside and Lost in Random. They were just being so weird with my computer, and they haven't done that in the past when I opened them. Redeem all. Okay. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I promise. I'm almost done. He's gonna get fed up with me. You there? Hello?
I'm about to go grab. I'm gonna go grab my son a Lunchable or something.
I'm scared the download is gonna lag my frag. We can only see. We're not gonna play ranked.
What?
Chessie's coming. She can't play ranked.
Good.
I mean, well, can we? Is she fine
I'll be right
with
back.
that? Okay.
Excuse you, Jojo.
Oh my god, you scared the shit out of me.
The audacity.
What happened? Oh, what do you do?
His little comment just now, right before he dipped, you said that I couldn't play it, and he was like, "Good." It's, fuck you too.
Oh, I didn't hear him say that. Oh shit.
No, I'm trying to get everything set up. I'm just all out of sorts right now. I was doing way too much shit all at once, and I'm not good at that.
You're amazing at it. Perfect.
I'm so not. But I appreciate you for lying to me.
Perfect. You're perfect. Oh,
You're perfect. Look at you. You look so beautiful in your Misa cosplay.
I feel weird. I feel weird.
It
Miss-
definitely looks different. I'm so used to like how you normally look, but you
know.
look amazing. This cosplay really suits you a lot.
This is how I looked in high school. Except I had black hair. Well, I used to have blonde hair, and then I started dyeing it black. But this is exactly
remember
how I
you're
used.
blonde.
This is exactly how I looked in high school with the red lipstick and everything. This was me, the goth girl in high school. Well, I
Oh
was
my
more
god,
like
FragPunk
emo.
is so loud.
I turned that down.
I need
Orcadian, who
to.
is this beautiful bitch? Where's Onyx? My name's Misa.
Everyone looks so gorgeous.
My name's Misa. I'm gonna put you in my death note. Just kidding, just kidding.
Ugh.
Look at you, so
Death
cool.
note.
Hi, Deadbeat. You look stunning. Thank you. It's like, it's throwing me off. The light hair and the lipstick. I'm so used to my skunk hair and my black lipstick that I wear every day.
Oh, you have to see Orchid's hair right now.
I
What's
was
it
gonna
look
say,
like?
go check out Orchid's stream.
Mm.
She looks gorgeous.
wanna go
She's
see.
stunning. I love the
Stunning.
off-shoulder top, and her hair looks
Ooh.
beautiful.
Oh my god, is it gonna make me horny?
Probably. It did it to
Oh.
me.
Yeah.
Probably. It did it to me.
Somebody clip that, by the way.
No, don't. Don't do that.
Clip it.
Don't.
Clip
Don't.
it. Clip it.
And you were. Ooh, look at her.
She's so beautiful. Oh, I just realized nobody on my stream can hear you.
Oh no.
Fuck. Ba-doo-ba-doo. This Discord. There we go.
I'll get it.
I don't know
You
if
guys
I'm
should be
allowed
able
to
to
say
hear
this,
them.
but I'm going to anyway.
Fuck is okay. There you are.
Say it. No balls.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see where.
Okay, you know what? Fine.
Baby.
Also,
I'll
Jojo,
have to
I need clarification. When Onyx
Which
told
one
you right
for?
before you stepped away from your computer that I couldn't play, did you say good?
What?
I'm
Were you
so
being a
ready for
bully?
you, Onyx.
Were you
I'm
bullying me,
waiting for
Jojo?
you. Right here. Let's
I don't
see,
remember
baby.
saying
You look
good.
so beautiful.
I swear I heard it.
Cosplay?
Stop, stop,
Holy
stop.
Onyx.
Orchid's making me blush.
Oh my goodness, she's pulling
Okay,
mommy
sounds
shit.
great,
I
guys.
see it.
Not the mommy.
I hear it.
Not the mommy.
Oh
my
god.
her little transition is so cute.
All right, all right, all right.
She is
Ooh, she's playing
adorable.
Who's she playing with?
She was talking about playing RV there yet later.
That's what
Oh.
I'm saying. Onyx
Oh.
I'm
is
really-
a hubba.
I'm really thinking
I
about
love you
saying
guys so
fucking
much. You're so
shrouded.
cute.
All right.
What do you mean fucking shrouded? I at least want to check out the
I-
update.
I do
Yeah.
too, and I just started installing it. What do you mean?
You're gonna break your heart, Jojo.
Come on, Chelsea.
I hurried up so that I could play Frag with you guys. You bullied me, and now you're saying you don't want to play
I did
Enshrouded with me.
not.
I'm just gonna end my stream. I'm done streaming forever now.
No.
Down. And I gotta put my water down.
Hold on, I was taking a drink.
Ironically enough, Gravity is playing right now from Has Been
Oh,
in my ears.
Oh, I love that song. Oh, I gotta play the Misa song. Hold on.
Turn that down because that's really loud. All right, Beef. Join whenever you're ready.
Here we
bestie.
go.
I need to find a better way to lay out my sub goals, but for now this will work. I just created like some little fun things
Okay, I gotta move my.
Hold on.
in case.
I accidentally started a match. I got out.
My third monitor is in my way as well.
I'm gonna play the
Everything's in
Misa
my
song
way.
after I'm baiting Chaos in Orchid's chat.
Oh,
I gotta
hang on,
wait
so
and
does
see
the
his
volume.
reaction first. I'm rage baiting him.
Hi, Witcher. Sweet boy.
Ooh.
Okay, wait. I need to figure out stuff
I love Phasmophobia so much. It's so fun.
I love Phas.
Hey, no fighting, no fighting. You
I
can
wish we could
share.
play it together. I have to get a
we gotta-
copy.
Yeah, we gotta get another
Girlfriends.
copy.
Both of your girlfriend.
We only have
whatever.
one in
Would
there.
that be plural or nah?
Because I don't think Logan owns one.
Do I have to buy?
Did you know you can disable death replays?
Yes, I do. I'm in
You
the
can?
What? How? Tell me.
Where?
I knew that.
Go to settings and
Holy
then
fuck,
scroll
you're
down
loud
to
as hell.
features, and then
Okay.
at the very bottom of that is disable death replays.
Settings.
Features.
Scared the shit out of me, dude.
Fuck is features at?
Oh, I see it. I'm fucking dumb.
Where-
It's the like third one down under language and toy
Subcategory.
front line in your
Sorry
base
that work was
settings.
so difficult today.
Huh? Oh, third one. Down.
And it's all the way at the bottom underneath that. Underneath the features part.
Oh. Oh, mine's
those
off.
days It's the worst.
Why do I keep seeing them then?
In line with the preset? What do you mean in line with the preset? Fuck you. I don't want your
I'm
presets.
sorry.
You want to put it
Oh
on.
shit, I
Off work
accidentally
now.
resetted my settings. Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Ugh. It
You
better
need-
stay
you
that
need to-
way.
You need to turn it
It's not that
on.
scary. I'm sure that
Oh,
you
turn it on.
Yeah, you need to switch it to on.
assimilated to how scary it is, which isn't that bad. That's fair. I'm just getting some gear.
My god,
I
you
don't
look so
have the
good.
free gear
You're stunning.
like
Me?
Chaos.
Yes, you.
I'll play the Misa song now. It's one of my favorites. The corpse song.
Love that song.
I love that song.
I don't have that one playing right now, but I'm about to. Where's my Spotify window? Come here, fucker. We're gonna play it in honor.
Are you wanting to share chat, by the way?
Oh shit, I didn't even think about
I'll
it.
send you
Yeah.
an
Let me
invite.
open Chrome. Opera doesn't let you do it. I don't know if the gamer browser would let you. The new Opera browser they came out with. I like it on my laptop so far. Let me resize the fucking window. God damn it. Motherfucker. Just as a warning, guys, if I do happen to mute while we're in game and I don't come back for a minute, it's because I had a coughing fit and I couldn't get back to unmute my mic.
No.
This guy's name is. I can't say it. My son's right next to me.
Did it work? It did. Okay, good. What are we listening to right now? I don't know what this is, but I like it.
Deploying to mission. See you on the
We're
other
going, unless you guys
I
don't
was
want
in
to
the
yet.
I was in the middle of making a
I'm good. It's
custom
just gonna play
person.
random music on my Spotify for a minute.
You messed me up. Let's do scrimmage.
I don't know how I didn't have Throne by Bring Me the Horizon in my playlist already, and I'm
Oh, I
really
love that
peeved about it.
song. That's such a
I'm
good
really
song.
peeved about it. It is. It's so good. I love Bring Me the Horizon, but I
Me
don't have very
too.
much of them in my playlist. My
Mafra is
Spotify
about to
playlist
start
and my
making
YouTube
her own
playlist.
music.
Who?
Mafra, the one that did the
Gannon,
cover
baby,
of Doomed.
go this way.
I sent it to
Use your
y'all on
legs.
TikTok.
Use
Don't
your own
remember.
feet. I can't walk for you.
You have to realize I have a really bad memory. You can ask Dylan.
Same, girl. I mean, you can't ask Dylan. He wouldn't know, but my husband would.
Well, she's got like the most awesome
Go
fucking
lay down, Bubba.
scream.
You're okay.
Nouse.
Well,
Mind the sand.
guys, lock in.
I need to move my phone to an
Lock in.
appropriate location.
Lock
Fuck.
in.
Oh, they have an annual member of the team.
Oh, Jesus.
Get
Anal
ready
member?
For the fishing
Annual
mini-me.
member.
Bro pays
Cool
$100.
relic, but creepy.
Whose mother?
Who am I hearing?
It's one of our teammates.
It's Baha
Oh.
Mutt.
Gross.
Wait, guys.
Me?
Bruh.
I guess.
Not you
I
guys.
finally learned it. I learned to mute them.
I told you how to.
They piss me
How?
off so bad.
I've never heard them before.
No,
How do
thanks.
you?
They're probably
Mute
Most
them.
people
So
don't-
when we're in
don't
the
use
buy
it.
phase, if you look up and see everybody's nameplates at the top on our team, there's a little microphone symbol. You can mute it, and then you won't hear them talking
I just
shit.
did it through the. Where did y'all go?
We're on A.
I'm so not locked in, guys.
Oh shit! Fuck. My cat is in my face. Kitty, go.
Ah,
Oh shit!
gamer.
Who was that?
They're on the stairs.
Got him. Somebody's name is FragPunk. Oh shit!
They're at the end. Shit.
Done.
That's your team. You're their only hope.
God damn it.
Oh,
Ooh, back up!
Shit.
Oh, you did good. You did good. You hurt them. That's what we want.
dude, I know they gotta be talking shit right now.
They didn't even
Let
pick
her-
any cards.
Oh, I bet that card will be amazing. That's a neat couple of cards you got there. The more points invested, the better this card. What is that thing anyway?
Hi,
Okay.
Lone
Testing
Wolf.
focus.
We just started, so not warmed up yet. Thank you for popping in and for chatting. Welcome in.
I'm no Tomb Raider. It's still from the rich.
I am not going to A. Fuck that. Actually, I'm gonna go mid and plant my knife.
I'm with
How
you.
is everybody's Friday going, chat? What'd you guys do today? What's your plans for the weekend? Tell me. I want to know. Somebody's running to my left. They're coming. Damn it!
They're dead. Fuck! They came up behind me. They ran around to our
They
base.
flanked.
I've gotta change my settings. This game is very loud.
They Bahamut is
Be
planting.
on.
Oh, run. At least we got a sniper on the team. Nice, I remember seeing you in game the other night. I was like, Gray says hi. You saw me in game the other night? I have been playing so terribly the past couple times I played. Because I used to play weekly. I need to get better again. I'm washed up. I'm a washed up FragPunk player. It's time for me to retire.
I've been a washed up frag player since I started.
No! You're not bad at the game at all. Oh my
I
God.
heavily
Oh my
disagree,
God.
but thank you.
I need to lock in. I need to get some energy. I haven't had caffeine today. Probably a good thing.
I'm finally able to drink Dr. Pepper again, so I'm on my second one of the day, but I've been drinking mostly water still.
Don't you dare
Good.
grab a Red Bull.
You switch sides next round.
I don't have it. But if Dylan would have brought me home one, I would have drank it.
Two cards are better than one. I mean,
Do we got one more?
Jesse?
Jesse?
It's a
Je-
whole
yeah.
new world out there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I realized I didn't have my gun, so I had to go get it. Well, my other one. I hate this gun
I don't
so
know.
much.
I do know somebody says named Braylon. But tell Bray I said hi back.
Stay tuned for my converter planting tutorial.
No, last time I stayed back there, I got killed.
Looks like a good place to bring materials over there.
Oh.
They're all in the middle.
All in mid. Oh, they're up. They're up. If you go up this, they're gonna get you. Location
Got
is
two of them.
frozen. They're up. They're up.
Good job, Jojo.
There they are.
Enemy spotted at E short.
One enemy left.
She's at B, and she's very low.
Plant.
Give me a sec. Planting. Let's make the spot more. Pretend I'm not
Planted.
I ghosted on the converter. Over there. Get him.
Real one. A surge of water and sound.
There we go. Good job, Baha. Good job.
Yes, no kidding.
Time to switch sides. Get ready for the fishing mini game. No?
Realistic.
Pick shard cards. Infuse that card with points. Double the cards. Aw, that card's gonna feel so rejected.
This is good enough.
3 cards? I guess some people just want to watch the world burn.
They just want to watch the world burn.
Battle is sacred. Treat it with respect.
Make sure you get a utility gun.
Pop drops are on my mouse cord.
Leave some of them for me. I need tissue samples.
enemy spotted at A main.
A main. I have them coming at me on A. Don't know how many. 2. Oh. It's a sniper
on our
over here.
way.
It's a sniper over here. Oh shit. Damn it. There's 2, maybe 3 on A. They flanked behind you, Jesse. Oh.
Next time, friend.
Is it controlled crouch? I always forget.
Oh, good job. Mother.
I love that game. Or that gun. That game. That gun. Jesus.
You can
Okay,
get it. It's
This is
one of your secondary weapons.
This is not
You're gonna be over on
FragPunk
A.
music. Okay.
Converter planted.
Oh.
Ooh, what cards will it make?
Come on, dude. You got this.
Enemy Lancerat. You know what never needs reloading? My spear. There goes the adrenaline.
Oh, just you, Jojo.
It's okay. It's okay.
A shot.
They're over the wall. Be careful.
They're ahead. But
The wall you died, Hunter.
I always bring enough.
Oh, it's such a punk ass play, man.
let's get some cards in here.
It's okay.
You know, it's just wild what these cards do. 2 cards are better than 1. I mean, obviously.
Hi, Goof.
Hi,
How are
Goof.
you?
Who? Me?
Hello, boo.
Yes.
Oh, you're slipping.
We're trying to get some warm-up rounds and frag going right now.
We're all supposed to go in a group and run fast.
Come on, team. Don't disappoint
Let's just
me
fucking
more than
rush them.
usual. Looks like a good place to be,
Bitch.
Oh,
Watch the sniper.
yep. They almost got me. They're flanking, I think. I hear footsteps.
Yep.
Flanking!
He's still here. He's still here. Jojo, get him. Good job.
Oh, fuck.
I knew he didn't have the balls to walk away.
Careful.
Nice. I've never played pratfall.
I haven't either.
I don't think I'd be very good at that one,
They
personally.
won't get a chance.
I always forget I have extra skills I can use. My letters.
Fuck.
Right.
Oh. Okay. I love you.
Oh, these fucking punks.
I got my husband sick with what I had.
Oh no. It was the kiss on the wedding day that did it.
It was a lot of things that contributed to that. But we're not going to talk about that because it would be inappropriate on stream.
Going into round. Outpost, where old
What?
meets new.
What?
Don't worry about it, Jojo. You're too young for that conversation.
Cover your ears.
You did it! What did you did?
Time to draw your sharp
What did you?
card.
What
Also,
did you
hi,
did?
Wes!
Hi, Wes. What did you did? Ooh, converter speed.
A relic is in play. May it tip the game in your favor.
Jesse, you got a point. Jesse.
Oh,
Jesse.
that card will be amazing.
Extra
I did it.
converter, no!
Let's make this quick. Huh?
I didn't. You didn't tell me which one. You just said I had a point, and both of them
Oh, no,
needed
no,
one.
no. It was fine. It was fine.
Y'all have to be Pacific, not Atlantic. Okay.
Pacific. Hi, Wes.
Give me that converter.
No. Okay.
I will check it after this match. Okay, Wes?
How do we throw it down again? I forgot.
I gotta focus.
I need to hear footsteps.
How do I turn down? Oh.
Oh, they're over here. A or B, I'm not sure.
They're gonna flank us too. I already know.
Nope, they're not.
Oh my god.
They're coming around. Where you guys went, they're coming around.
I'm gonna plant.
Guys behind you.
Flanking.
Fuck! They got me, but they're low. Fucking bitches.
I can't wait to use these on everyone.
There we go.
Good job, Jojo.
We didn't even have to plant the converter. Good job.
He avenged me.
I helped.
You surpassed 600 followers. Holy shit! Congratulations, Wes.
Congratulations, Wes.
Get ready for the fishing mini. No?
Oh, headshot.
Pick shard cards. Infuse that, double the cards, double the fun. You didn't like that card?
Pretty sure I've seen you guys play this, but first time on my PC. Wow, nice graphics in this. I love this game so much.
Frag is so much fun.
Mm-hmm. You want the converter, Jojo?
I do. Somebody took it.
All systems go.
I'm with you. I'll be your flank.
Right there.
Jojo's with us. Get him, get him, get him!
They're all over on A, and the converters dropped.
Fuck! What in the hell just killed me? My goodness, thank you so much,
Cherry
Wes,
bomb.
for 100 biddies. I'm sorry, I can't think right now. It was a what?
A cherry bomb.
Fuck that shit. I want one.
Where are they coming from? I hear 'em.
I think to the right.
Oh!
Sure.
Wes, you just cheered 100 bits.
Jesus, Wes, thank you for the 100 bits.
Oh
You
my
scared
goodness.
me.
Wes, you're
Good job,
nuts.
Jojo.
Good
What gun
job.
are you using? What gun are you using, Jojo?
Fever.
Fever.
I need to experiment with like different champions and weapons because Hollow Point ain't doing it for me no more.
Shout out given to Wes. Thank you for the biddies, Wes.
Jojo, Wes is giving you cheek kisses.
Mwah! For Jojo from Wes. Oh.
Oh, I'm lagging. What the
On the
fuck?
butt cheek, not the face cheek.
Oh.
You want to rescind that kiss, Onyx?
Damn.
I told him it was from Wes. I wasn't sending a kiss.
Let's switch sides. Next round, anyway.
Oh, y'all fucking took my gun again. I'm not good with these guns, guys.
Oh, I bet that card will be amazing.
We'll try this one.
This one.
Just
One more,
Which
Chessie.
one?
Chessie. First
Both
one.
cards play nice together.
There we go. There we go.
As long as
I got
we
it.
don't have to talk.
The north wind is bitter.
Okay. Well, we'll see how I do with this thing.
Converter.
Let's end him.
That's not a beacon. That's my knife.
They're on A.
Enemy spotted.
A. Right over there. Right in front.
Did I scare you?
No, you didn't scare me.
Dust in the wind.
I forgot the
Yeah.
names. Good job, Onyx.
My blood is boiling. Let's go.
Team.
Your gun looks so cool.
I love it so much.
Like somebody splooged all over it.
Stop. Why would you ruin that for me?
Piano thing. Oh. Oh.
You're such a dick.
I made it. Thank you. Thank you for the biddy.
It's just wild what these cards do.
Do we want B-site?
Don't use any points. We're pulling all the cards away.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, fair enough. Yep.
Oh, I mean, it won't use the points.
I'm gonna keep
If
using
all
this
the
gun.
plu-
I need to
if
find out if
everything's
it's good.
pulled, I think you keep the points, don't you?
I don't know.
Till chaos breaks.
Looks like a good place to rematerialize.
I'm with you, Jojo.
I'm in. That's not your name.
Good job, Jojo.
How many are over there? Oh, okay, never
That
mind.
helps.
Dope.
We need to push.
Be short.
You don't have to fucking.
There we
Good
go.
job.
He's got a quadra kill.
Good
Fucking
job.
good job, Jojo.
Yeah.
Go team.
Oh God, Jojo.
You are getting too good at this game.
He's
boy.
getting so good.
Cards.
My husband had
Big
to go
heads.
to the grocery store.
You know, it's just wild what
Barrier?
these cards do. Ooh, that's a neat couple of cards you got there.
Okay.
What is that thing anyway?
No, he'll be back. He had to go get
sure
something
we
for
can
us to
fix
eat for
this
dinner
mess
tonight
later
because I am starving. I haven't eaten all day.
Good pork chops and
Here,
homemade
footsteps.
potatoes.
Oh my goodness, thank you for more biddies! Wes, you're insane. You gotta stop, brother. You gotta, guys. For those who don't know, that's my IRL brother. Okay, I'm with you, Jojo.
They're up, A.
Fuck.
Oh my God, they're all on A! They flanked me
I'm not
too.
gonna make it.
They're all on A.
They're all
Holy
on A.
crap.
Devil is still alive for now. I wish I could like rush forward somehow.
They converted the planet on A. Oh my God, I can't talk.
They
said
planted
they
the
could-
converter on A. I got you.
I said they converted the planner on A.
Somebody flip it.
When we're done with this game, I need to go put my blue light glasses on so I don't get a headache.
Walk on the wild side.
Get him. Oh my God, the converter, get it, please. Oh, go get the converter.
Shit. Reload.
Oh, no, it's done. Run.
How's he not fucking dead?
You learn.
I don't know.
God damn it.
Jesus. Okay. Grab.
amazing.
Oh yeah. Skates appear on the
Oh hell yeah.
map. Damage from long range. Do we have a
Infuse that
sniper?
card with it's a whole new world out there. A relic is in play.
It stops their snipers from doing so much damage.
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna try this gun. I'm probably not gonna like it. I'm going with you guys to A just in case they route back over there again.
Yeah, they all dogpiled
Anthem
me over
B
here.
side.
Go hide.
Not gonna lie, this map is definitely not my favorite map. There's too many places for people to hide.
I'll be back when I care.
They're over here.
I got their converter. Oh, they're behind me. They flanked.
Shit.
They're on the second floor of A. One with the converter is.
That's where I'm at.
I'm on the other side. I'm gonna die. Shit. God, she's gonna take advantage of my fucking reload.
The reload sucks. I hate when
I
that happens.
hate the reload. Oh, it pisses me
Good job,
off.
JoJo.
Like,
Good slide.
good job, JoJo. I just wish the reload was faster.
He's on the other side of the wall somewhere.
The instincts. He saw yellow and shot.
I know. Oh, it's right there. Get the converter. Get the converter. Oh my god.
She panics and she can't talk. I love
can't
it.
talk. My brain doesn't compute.
What the fuck? Why is he?
What the
Why did he leave?
Oh my god, why wasn't he doing it? I thought he was doing it.
I did too. He was
No,
when you
he
turned
did.
around.
He started it. Oh, we're in a duel. Can I?
Oh, good fuck.
Can I
Is
get
that what he
second to
wanted?
last? Jesse, you could have last.
Best position? Good luck.
Is that your sticker, chat? Oh my god, it's so cute.
Duel's on. Prepare
Thank
for the
you.
Look how cute it is.
I just got it like the last time we played, I feel like.
It's so cute.
I hate this. I hate it when we do these things. JoJo, carry us. We believe in you.
Oh,
Good job.
Good job.
Good
Yeah!
job. Hi, Scratchy.
Hi, Scratchy.
How are you? Oh my gosh.
It's halfway.
You did good. You did good.
You did good. You
Don't have a body. Fun to pretend
You got 2 out of 5 of them. Or 4, or something like that.
2.5.
Oh my god. Whoa.
Crazy brother.
Let's go.
Surprise!
Oh, don't make me play. Please.
Don't jinx it.
You got this. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him.
Yeah!
I knew you could do
Very
it.
funny, chat.
Oh my god, that was awesome.
Hell
I don't
yeah.
think since I started playing, I've seen it go just 2 from our team. Take him down.
Now you can collect your pay.
Do you guys want to move to Enshrouded? Check it out for a bit?
I'm down. I'm down.
You guys down for that? Okay, we
Dude,
can
I
do
went
that.
16 and 3.
Good job.
Jojo, I'm so fucking proud of you.
But my heart's about to fucking pop out of my
We're
fucking chair.
friends with really cool people. Let me find a song.
Great.
Oh, I can't. It's at 45%. I guess when I opened Frag, it fucking paused.
Oh,
That's so fucking dumb.
Oh no. That's okay. It's okay.
I wish that I had done this.
I'll be right back. I gotta go put my glasses on so I don't get a headache. Dylan said hi, guys. I went and made me a loaded mashed potato bowl. It's so good. It's so good.
I have crackers.
I try not to wear glasses with my cosplays, but I will get a really bad headache if I stare at a screen too long. So I have to do it. Sorry if it ruins the Misa cosplay chat.
You're Misa in disguise.
And
It's
Misa
fucking
in
snowing again.
disguise.
Yep.
Are you
Hi,
shitting me right now?
Twiz.
Cross my heart.
Everyone says hi.
Hi. It's snow.
Whistler.
What the fuck?
Twizzler.
Wiz got that Riz.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Dylan said hi, chat. Bye, chat. Walked out.
You gotta be shitting me. Fuck you, Montana. I'm tired of this bipolar ass weather. Somebody get Mother Nature. I need to talk to her mama.
Considering it was 70 earlier, then dropped way the fuck down to this.
Mm-mm.
So the culinary sea pizzas are not there
I thought so. Which one did we get?
anymore. The Craven. Those were pretty good last time.
Okay.
I got pepperoni and a supreme. I also got you a chocolate cream pie.
That was special.
Yeah, you did.
And I got me strawberry rhubarb pie.
They had a strawberry rhubarb.
Yum.
No, you got the oatmeal cream pie, the little cup.
Ew.
I got a slice of strawberry rhubarb pie.
Yum.
You've been craving that for like 3 days.
And it's got
Gannon, you're not
pepperoni
getting my
butter.
crack.
What's
Okay,
a
hold on.
rhubarb?
Oh, sent by
What,
Sunny Weather
Jojo?
from Canada.
What is a rhubarb?
A rhubarb? It almost
Yeah.
tastes
You
like a
asked what a rhubarb
strawberry.
is?
It almost tastes like a strawberry.
It almost looks like
It tastes so good though.
celery. Just red.
My
Here.
mother-in-law makes an amazing
Also,
rhubarb
didn't
pie.
Onyx tell you to update this like this morning?
Yes, yes, she did.
Just checking. Just checking.
Told both of you.
And you know what? I fucking forgot. Here, take it out of my fingers, you fucking weirdo. Take it. You're not gonna get me, Bubba. Take it. Bite it.
Oh yeah.
Why would you drop it like that? God damn it,
Dropped it
Gannon.
like it's hot.
Should we move to left's voice server?
Is she on?
I don't know, but in case anyone hops in.
We can see if they hop in.
Oh my
Just
god.
hop in now.
I'm not trying to sound like an ass.
Oh no, I was just gonna hop in now like we usually do. I'm going over there.
I'm so sorry for the Shane Dawson Christmas song chat.
Can I even get
That
in
wasn't
there?
supposed to play.
Invite anybody? Would not believe your eyes, a million fireflies lit up, fell asleep on the open air and leave teardrops everywhere. Can I not? What are you guys doing?
I was waiting for Chess. I didn't want to leave her alone in here.
Where are we going?
Oh.
Game voice chat 1
Oh.
on Scary Berry Hangout.
I thought you guys heard me.
Game Voice. I did. Game
Sorry.
Voice 1. I don't see anybody in a voice chat in her.
I was just in
Oh,
it.
hold on.
Here, I'll go hop in it. Hello.
Don't talk to me.
What? What did I do? I didn't do anything to you.
I'm in too many fucking discords, you guys.
Oh my god, my screen went black for a second.
Good.
Hey now. You're a rock star. Get your game on. Go. Play.
Wes, I'm so proud of you.
Me too. Insomnia.
Bless you.
What is happening with the music? Are we going in Wiz's server?
Yeah, I am.
Is left on
Not yet.
No.
already? Or okay, I was gonna say I need to pull her up and lurk her if when she goes live.
She would usually already be on by now if she was going to stream.
I'm gonna need Wiz's info again because his thing is no longer in my favorited servers.
I'll refresh.
I have been.
I only
Come
had
on,
to
Ginner.
refresh it.
Come on.
It's not letting me do anything.
Are you gonna say hi to chat?
Hold on.
Did you clean your butthole? Don't put your butthole on me if you didn't.
Ew. Gross. Ganon.
Say hello.
Go to the main menu and see what it's called. Wizards Enclave. Capital Wizards and then capital
Go.
E on the Enclave.
Thank you. There's no more crackers, Ganon. He has a stinky butthole.
What?
Ever since he got fixed, his butthole stinks. He like leaks
Ew.
juices. I'm not sure what
Ew.
it is, but
Tessie,
like
I'm eating.
God.
Please.
I've had that
what,
issue.
Ganon? I don't know what it is though.
It's still telling me there's no server under that name.
Don't sit on the keyboard.
What?
How are you spelling it?
Wizards Enclave?
WIZARD apostrophe S
Ganon. My lord.
ENCLAVE.
Mm-hmm.
And you put space in between.
Yes.
47%.
Oh.
Like a fucking race car.
What the f is happening?
You have to search on
Thank you, Goof. That's my soul cat. That's my baby.
the IPv.
You do have cotton candy, Fago.
Oh, that shit's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just streaming you, Onyx. I'm just streaming your stream right now.
Me? Oh, I'm just trying to get in here. I'm just sitting here looking at my screen.
You're sitting there looking fucking hot because look at you. Hello, first of all. And
No.
then also Misa cosplay.
Misa cosplay. I feel so weird. I'm so out of my element.
I can tell you're ready to get back into your black lippy and your other wig.
Is it? Are you? Is it Wizards Enclave still, or is it Wizards Tower?
Hey.
Huh? Yeah.
I'll send you the IPv4 address. You just paste it and go on there.
Alright. Yetter. Where? Oh, there it is.
Look how cute she is.
I meant to only paste the damn
No,
number,
it's okay.
but
It's
you
okay.
get the thing.
Yeah. I know you're good.
I got piss.
You what?
He had to go potty.
Oh,
He didn't put it in quite so nice terms, but you know.
I thought he said I'm pissed, like pissed off. I was like, why?
No, I think we would know if JoJo was pissed.
I think the last
Turtles.
time we played Enshrouded was around Christmas, right? Because I was sick.
I think so. It's been a while.
Thank you, Goof. Thank you so
She's
much.
so beautiful.
Hi, Turbo. Hi. Don't show your butt to stream, you Jezebel. She's a whore.
Did you get your shit together?
Yeah. Whose house am I at? Skill tree reset.
Yeah, you're gonna have to redo all your skills.
Oh man! So I'll get attacked by spiders again?
It's way better. It's
oh,
way
okay,
better.
okay. Let's pause.
Wait, do we have to like rebuild our skill points back up?
No, you keep them. You just gotta reorganize.
Replace them. Okay.
Where am I? Oh,
I
I'm
forgot.
at Chessie's
I forgot
place.
to look.
Where
I have to
JoJo
look for
was.
whatever thing is.
Everybody's at my house but me because I'm still downloading the shader packs. Go me,
Where's
classic
my
Jessica.
house? Where's my house? My house has the most water spouts in the entire map. I don't have to search for my little
My place
dot.
was flooded for no fucking reason.
Your place was flooded?
But somebody's been stocking my base up like crazy.
What do you mean somebody?
I think it's probably Skylar.
Oh, I still need your help trying to figure out the
Hold
transition
on.
thing. That is so cool.
Oh yeah, I can help you with that. It's really easy. Did you find like a transition you wanted? Like, did you?
I haven't yet. I'm gonna start looking. I just keep forgetting, but when I get there, I'm gonna need your help because I don't know how to do it.
Oh my gosh, my little creek still as beautiful.
Your house is so cute.
Still as beautiful as the day I left it. Look at it. Gorgeous. Is the spider still down here, or did the... Oh, my spider's still down here.
Oh god.
And so is my
Not the spider.
capybara. How do I feed you? Uh-oh.
I think you have to make more of the capybara treats.
Do I have some already, I wonder?
I'm gonna have to remember how the fuck to play this game. Oh god.
Capybara bait. Okay.
I think it's different than the bait, but don't quote me on that. I don't remember.
I'm beautiful.
You are beautiful, JoJo.
Don't you forget it.
How do I... For you? Will that feed you? Is this your... inspect? Capybara feeder. No suitable items. Okay.
You just scared the fuck out of me. What is that?
I gotta go get food.
Did it finally showed up? Do you want to show everyone your new kettle?
Kettle. He's got a new kettle.
Okay.
He did. He did. He got a new kettle.
Jojo, I like the
It's
heart.
an electric kettle.
I wish it was a regular kettle, but this was.
We will get a kettle set whenever we move.
It's
Just microwave the tea. It'll be fine.
I like it.
They have spiral staircases.
Onyx says just microwave tea. It'll be fine.
bitch! Don't you dare speak such filth.
I knew you'd
in
get
my
that. That's
presence.
exactly
The fuck
why I
are
said
you
it.
on? What have you
The
been
cackle
smoking?
I heard.
I have
never microwaved tea in my life. I never would. I promise.
She said she has never microwaved tea in her life and she never would. She said it to bait you. And it worked.
It so worked. That was great.
That is not okay.
She's so mad.
He's
I
so grumpy
knew
about
he was gonna lose it when I said that. Tell him McDonald's.
howling.
Tell him I said
Oh, here we go.
McDonald's hot tea is better than the tea he likes.
I refuse. You can tell him that.
I think he would actually hunt me down.
The sad part is we have your address, so he could.
No.
I'd protect you though. I would hide in the trunk.
Don't let him get me. Where is the group house? Community house.
Is that not the one you're in? Oh no, it's not.
I
is
was
it?
in Wiz's tavern. I was in Wiz's place.
Yeah, we're just watching you play on my stream while I'm downloading my
Oh.
shaders.
You are?
I'm at like 80-something% though.
Oh my god. I'm just trying to find some capybara food for my child.
I probably need to do the same. I don't remember
Where's
if I
the
ever placed
hunter?
my capybara. I think I did. Oh, he's gonna be starved to death.
Creativity.
My husband says dishonor on you, dishonor on your turtle.
Not dishonor on the turtle.
I should request to give her a treat just for that. Babe.
Diving gear. No, I need the farmer, don't I? Who do I talk to about capybara food again? Wizard.
It's either the chick next to you in the bandana, or it's on the other side. I can't remember which one.
What'd you say, Jojo?
He's nuts. Damn, son.
What?
I'm gonna drop something. What happened?
I'm having.
Oh my god, look at all the little. There's like new things to look at. There's new
I
clothes.
have a stitch in my side, guys.
I'm gorgeous.
I'm I thought it was the farmer. Yeah, the farmer.
96%.
Farmer, 'cause I'm plowing.
Dog food, cat food, hot pear, favorite, capybara food. I need paper reed.
I hope it's just this. I hope I can play after this.
I gotta go to the water.
The water?
Yeah, the water.
That's one of my things now.
Water?
If I get 5 subs, I will use an accent for 2 minutes. It'll either be British or Southern.
I
I
was
couldn't
right
think of what to
beside you.
do for it.
I was coming
I
to
do
where
not
you
feel
were.
like listening to this.
Stay.
I.
Good girl.
Oh.
Oh,
what do you mean?
Oh.
I was looking for paper reeds.
Look at me. Look at me.
I'm coming over there.
Oh shit.
Oh, you
Jojo,
look sick.
can you Onyx somebody
That's
send
a
me the
Twitch
password?
drop.
I think it's in. Did you send it in the group chat?
No, I sent it to your.
Can you send it to Jesse?
I don't have it anymore. It's buried in our chat.
Y'all need to watch Twitch to get this stuff I got on there.
Watch Twitch. The drops?
Watch Twitch.
Yes, it's Enshrouded drops.
Who do I need to watch? Who else is playing it?
Anybody that plays. Yeah. Nah, I'm saying.
No, I'm saying. I need reeds. Where are they? Search this area. Find capybaras.
Thank you, Jojo.
I probably have some.
Wanna feed
Would have
my
asked instead of trying to rob me.
child.
Everything's
I got-
organized in here.
There's a gator.
I have plenty of capybara bursts.
Do you? How do you even get them?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Oh no. You hurt them?
Put some
Don't
F's
hurt
in the
them.
chat.
My home.
Get home.
I have 2 paper rings.
I don't remember how many, 3 or 5.
Okay, I don't care about any of that. Nope. Nope. I got the double jump finally.
What is this?
Jeez Christ.
Aquamarine. It's so pretty.
Like somebody put 118 ultimate health potions in a chest in my house. That
Skyla.
was not me.
Skyla. It was Skyla. That girl grinds. She grinds for all the items. Where are the reeds?
I'm pretty sure she put a bunch of rings in my chest.
My server load. Oh no.
It always says that.
Oh,
Hmm?
get away!
You remember my bench?
Your cuck bench. You have one in every game. Sorry, a crab came after me.
You see the one I made on Jesse's stream last night?
Actually, no, I didn't. I saw the house you built,
I
though.
made
It was
one.
really good.
But the only right kind of fucking tea is berries.
Berries?
Use anything else, you're just fucking wrong.
No,
Hate
no,
to say it,
no.
but that's the only right kind of tea.
No.
Is that
Oi.
Jess talking?
Yes, it was.
Dude,
Quizzes, I made him mad. Now he's talking Irish.
No, you're just wrong.
It was a
That's all there is to
joke! It was a joke!
You're just wrong for trying to microwave tea.
And he dropped an accent.
God, I riled him up so bad. Oh.
Now I can't use my brain for 5 minutes because he used his accent on me.
Ew. Ew. Ew, there's an alligator after me. Ew.
Hi, my baby.
Don't die. Please, don't die.
My little capybara, I know you're hungry.
I gotta find reeds. Oh my god. Oh!
What just happened?
I got attacked. I got died.
You got dead?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I don't know what I dropped. I love
He's
Earl
nuts.
Grey tea. A good London fog makes me so happy. So
So
happy.
you drop.
I know, buddy. I know. I gotta go get you some food.
I'm gonna go look at Left's house. Where's Laying for Dead?
Yeah, this is a very me type of place.
Sorry I'm eating on stream chat, but I'm so hungry. I want to play.
Girl, don't be sorry. I eat on stream all the time.
Aw, her little
Where
house.
be...
Ooh, that's pretty.
Perfectly sized.
I don't know where the... Found it.
A little plushie.
Did you call me?
A plushie!
Yeah, I married an Irishman, guys. He's taken. You can't have him.
Oh, she's got a little garden above her.
Take that as a challenge.
Jojo, you're not Twinkie enough to be his type.
Twinkie.
Respectfully.
Try.
You hurt his
I'll
feelings.
change. can change.
Do you hear that, babe? JoJo's gonna turn into a twink for you.
I made
How-
homemade mashed
oh.
potatoes today. I didn't use
Giant
Bob
statue I
Evans.
made.
Where'd you go, Chessie?
I need food for my capybara.
Let me find you. Where are you?
I just made a camera.
A
Need
camera?
paper reeds and algae.
Where are you?
Yep.
Vale water basin.
Oh, Bellwater.
I made a camera.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go there. Which is great, because I don't know where the fuck that is anymore.
I think it's, isn't it?
Did I
Who
jump
did
scare
that? No, you didn't jump scare me.
Revelwood.
Isn't that Lake Heartblood?
Yep. I am
you
fast
there.
traveling there. What is the thumping? Baby, are you okay?
Is it Zelda?
Maybe. I hear him. He's okay.
I want to play RV there yet.
Yeah.
Or the Midnight Shift again. That one's so fun.
And I think it's next door. I think the kids are playing.
Okay, well, I'm about to go be mean auntie because they need to quit that shit.
Ooh.
Don't make me come up there.
I am so tired of the thudding and the banging on the walls and all of that crap.
This is where we kept dying last time, Chess.
I know.
Where would you go?
I'm on the little rocks under the tower. Like where you first spawned. I just flew down.
Oh, I'm over here on this little island. Oh no.
This isn't where I found the reeds, though.
I don't know where you find them. I never found them last time. You did.
They were by some little lake. I just don't remember where the fuck it was on the map. Why did it have to get dark?
What is under there?
Building controls for this are fucking high too.
There's so many monsters on this beach. God damn it.
How do I go down again? In the water? Oh. What is this? I want to know.
Did he close the door on you, baby? You're okay.
How do I swim down in the water again? I forgot.
Is it control? Oh, maybe not.
Can't figure it out.
I just went down. I just angled my camera down.
That's what I'm trying to do, and it won't let me
But-
do it. It's not letting me go under the water. What the fuck?
How do you dive? What the fuck?
That's so weird.
Whoa. Ow. Okay.
No, you can't be out of honey.
Why can't I climb on this fucking rock?
Mate.
Where are you, Jesse?
Stuck in the water because it won't let me get out? Every time I try to get out, she turns right. What is attacking me? Okay. Well, something killed me because I couldn't get out of the water. It would not let me get out of the water at all.
Give me some milk.
We need some milk.
What did I drop?
These nuts.
How do I get to my inventory?
Got him.
I'm waiting on you to come back. Jojo.
Mm-hmm.
Blame it all on me. So what exactly were the new updates?
Oh my god, where am I at? What the fuck?
Not a lot of stuff.
We do need to find some, like, decent honey, though. I agree.
I like buying local. It helps with your allergies.
Okay, where did you go?
I'm standing by your stuff.
Oh, jeez. See, I couldn't get up that rock, though.
I was over on the other island over there, and I flew over here. There you are. Now over here. Where are you going?
Into the water, apparently.
What? You could have made it over here.
Yeah, I hit buttons. Fuck off. Whatever that
Damn it.
is.
Fuck shit.
Look at me, I can double jump now.
You did good.
That was stupid. Okay, hold on.
In building.
Actually, wait a second, because I'm going to Google this.
Oh my god, this shit fuck is sick.
Oh, that's so cool. It has like a blue light on it when you plug it in. The kettle.
I heard a pig.
A pig? I didn't... Zelda's not in here.
I heard a pig. Somewhere.
I don't see Zelda in here.
Leave her alone.
You're right, she's not a pig, she's a cow. The edges of ponds, rivers, and small lakes, specifically in the Springlands or Revelwood regions for the paper reeds. Okay, I'm gonna teleport to the Revelwood Tower, or Spire.
Algae buds. Algae buds. Algae, I need...
You make everything groovy. Wild thing.
Oh, this. Ooh.
I hate being out here at night.
I hate this building.
Okay, I'm gonna head kind of towards the Wizard's Tavern, I think. See if I can't find like a lake or something.
All I'm finding is algae.
Yeah, the paper reeds are only in small bodies of water, it seems like, whereas the...
What is a gleam root?
I collected moths.
Moths!
can only get them at night, I think.
Well, I'm at a
Something,
lake now.
something's like that.
I'm gonna see if I can't find some paper reeds at a body of water. And if I can, I will bring you some.
Poop, 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 poop. I think I have one.
I think I used all of the ones I got before to make the capybara bait, which was admittedly probably not very smart, but
Stream if you don't get away from
Oh my god, no.
I just didn't hear that.
Can't see anything.
can't see anything.
What's this?
I'm scared to go down here because I don't know what's down there. I can't see.
Damn it, I can't get up on this rock now either. There
I need a third monitor so bad.
we
I don't like the red light coming from over there. Please, nothing come out and attack me.
You in the dark somewhere?
Mm-hmm. In the woods. Of all places! And as I say that, something comes out to attack me.
Where are you? I'm gonna look for you.
I'm good. I got away from it. But it's so dark I can't find any bodies of water. Shooting stars!
I need to crouch. Oh, to see. These singular.
Oh, daytime. Oh, thank fucking God. I have vision!
Jesse, I'm coming to you.
I'm still looking for water. Be careful. There's bad things in the woods.
I keep pressing the fucking delete button because it's the opposite of cocktail.
Alright, where are you? Quit running away from me!
Oh my God, I just got scared by rats. Hi!
Hello!
I found this thing.
Ew.
Yeah, there's rats.
I was throwing capybara loot at it for some reason. Or capybara bait.
Lore!
little angry there.
I wanted the
Ooh,
loot.
lore.
Oh, thank you, love.
Ooh, rat.
I thought you got. Okay, I
What?
misunderstood what he told me.
Ooh, I don't have a lockpick. Okay, how do
I
I
got Supreme pizza.
craft?
Ooh, watch out for the traps. I almost rolled into them.
Oh, I don't have any metal scraps to make a lockpick. Do you have a lockpick chest? Or any metal scraps to make one? Something
How
in
do I
this-
Don't ask me.
How do I get inventory?
What do you mean don't ask you, Jojo?
You didn't have?
You're far away. I didn't know if you were doing something important.
Am I ever?
I have
You're digging
2 metal
holes.
scraps. Is that enough?
Yeah, I think so. If
Digging
you
holes.
press J and then look at the top, it should say crafting, and you can find lockpick to make a lockpick.
Aha.
And then there's
Okay.
a door over here that needs to be open. Right, where is it? Hold on, I got turned around. Was it here? Yeah, it's here. There you go. Anything important in here? Absolutely nothing. Are you serious? Are you serious? Ridiculous.
That for nothing in that room.
Wow.
I can't sing right now. Oh, this one needs a lockpick too. Fuck you.
That one might actually have something in it. Ooh, I found a chest.
Ooh.
Archer
You get anything good?
trousers. Archer trousers and an elder's staff. I don't want any of those. Puh. Ooh, bad guys. Oh, be careful.
Oh,
It got me. It got
you
me.
can disarm them.
It got me.
Oh, I leveled up. I'm level 6 now.
Oh my god, I'm about to message you.
About to message who?
I need arrows.
I'm about to message you.
Why? Is it a secret?
Yeah.
It's a secret. It's fucking hopeless. Yes.
Make sure I'm sending this to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Send it to you.
Oh my god, what's all this stuff? There's so much stuff. You're
Ow.
correct.
Don't bite me, rat.
You're a loser, baby. Goddamn baby.
God, fuck. He's following me.
You're a loser just like me. Loser, and only one star reviewer.
Where are you guys at?
That rock
You up or down?
bottom got company. I'm on the bottom
that's-
fighting a wolf and a guy.
I'm fighting rats and an arrow shooter person. Are you okay?
I am trying to figure out combat in this game again. I'm doing good though. Hold my own. Trade. Been in the same shitty sandwich.
Oh, thank you.
My soul to a psychopath.
Mm.
Freak. You think that means you You're a loser,
I think that's an
baby.
explosive. I'm scared of that thing.
Be a
Give me a minute, son.
butt sucking hoe. You're a loser.
What?
What?
Did you see my message?
What?
Did you see my message?
No, I have not. I'm fighting so many enemies. with no help
I
from
don't
Chessie at
care.
all.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to you.
Just kidding.
I found a thing that's glowing blue, and I don't know what it is.
To devour demons leash. It's worse with every hour.
Oh, hi.
Hi. But loser, baby.
Found a
Push it
snake.
together, things will end up differently.
Oh, I see a wolf.
You are a loser.
I'm on a 105 streak with left.
105. Is she live?
That's insane.
Yeah,
Is hers live? Is she
Oh,
playing
shit.
Enshrouded?
she's not on yet. But
Oh my god, this guy's gonna.
Where is she? There she is. This orchid. Okay.
We're good. Got it. Give me all the loot.
You
give me all
okay?
the loot, give me
Sorry,
all
I was
the
trying to lurk
No,
for
no, I'm
left
good.
as well.
Oh, I need to go look for her. Lurk for her.
this deadly shroud. Why am I over here? What the fuck?
Place is insane.
Left for dead. Oh, she's playing golf with your friends? Or was she playing that the other day? Oh, she's playing it with Debbie. Okay.
Mhm.
Maybe right now? I don't know.
Probably. Get on Discord, Onyx.
I'm gonna. I'm looking. I'm going.
I'm trying to dig my way up to where you guys are.
Oh, we can't hear her. You're muted, Left. You're muted.
Yeah, see, when I come into your stream, I know like if you're actually muted and I say something, you're gonna know it's not a joke. Ooh, I got a lockpick.
I get up there.
I found a lockpick if we need it.
Dude, this game should have auto.
Oh my god. The stream streaks are crazy. How much is golf with friends?
Or like $5 or $10.
I hate olives.
Oh, it's $1, guys. You want to play golf with your friends with them?
I don't have $1.
I'll buy it.
Girl. Do you realize you're insane?
What do you mean?
Also, I'm not the hugest fan of golf, so.
Oh, do you not want to play it? Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to eat too.
Oh. Gotta mute her. Gotta mute her. Okay, no golf with friends. You don't like golf.
I'm sorry, you guys can play.
No, it's okay. I love golf games. What's in here? Ooh, loot. More loot. Oh my god, I hear fighting. It's so dark in here.
You almost got attacked by it.
Oh, I did?
Mm-hmm.
Ah. My hero.
Do you need light?
My hero. I needed a drink of water.
Oh! Hello!
Are you okay? Oh, where did he come from? I just ran through this whole thing.
I don't know.
I ran through this entire thing and there was nobody in here.
Yeah, I turned
What?
around and he was on my ass.
Huh.
Okay.
I'll be back in just a minute.
Okay.
Oh, days.
I get so lost when I'm looting places. Oh! My god! Where do you come from?
I'm coming.
Scared the hell out of me.
What was it?
A
Oh,
wolf. Where did it come from?
I think they're spawning.
Oh my god. What was I gonna do? There it is. I'm still going to do this.
Sentry, turn on your camera right now.
My
or else.
camera
Turn it on.
is
Turn on your camera!
On wish list.
Mm-hmm. She is real life Misa.
Huh? I see real life Misa. I don't think I look like her.
I disagree.
I do not think I look like her. Nice click. I need to play Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach soon. Fucking love that game.
Oh, well, that was pointless.
What?
I used my lockpick on a door that just leads outside.
You what?
I used my lockpick on a door and all it did was lead outside.
No. I'm not the female Markiplier.
You are.
I don't think so.
There's the downstairs area.
Oh, is there an under area?
Yeah. It's inside this place.
Sorry, I'm
right
buying
behind
this.
you. I found a secret door. How do I build one of those?
Hello there.
Hello there. Hi, Shadow. How are you?
I found a dungeon. Oh my god. There's a dungeon and there's more downstairs. Oh, fuck. Gannon, shit. You just scared the crap out of me. I'm gonna die now because of you. Gannon, move your butt.
All right. Back to the game, my loves. Golf with your
killed a
friends is on
monster.
sale for $1 and I had to get it from like $15.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
I know. I've never gotten a chance to play it. I've always wanted to play it, but I've watched like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye and like everybody play it, and it's so funny. So I needed to get it while it was on sale. Okay, downstairs? Oh, there is a downstairs. Oh my god, where'd you come from? I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
What?
Yeehaw.
Where are you?
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Oh my god. Onyx. No.
Help, I'm dead. Help me. Revive me, queen. He's right there. He's so mean. Secret tunnel. Is Jojo digging a tunnel? At this second?
Probably.
Or where is he? He might have had to go get the boys.
Oh my god, where did he come from?
Did you
You've
die
been
too?
fine this whole
Oh,
time.
thank you. I
Do you need
walked through
food?
there and he ran after me. I might have.
I don't even remember where I came from. I panicked so that I could save you.
I was dead. I got food. I'm good.
Oh, hi, Shadow.
Oh, lore. Rather the elixir soul of close stuff. Ears. Okay.
Oh, yeah. It was
What are we
in
looking
one
for?
of these sides. I want to keep exploring that tunnel that I was in.
Oh, I want to explore a tunnel.
Where was I?
Where do I have a torch? There was a tunnel?
There was like it was like a torture chamber basement thing. I don't remember where I
You
was.
came from over up here. You like jumped down.
Ah!
Oh my god! Jesus Christ. There's a whole nest of them.
Ah, fuck. Don't jump where I jumped.
Oh, down here? Come back where I am. Through the house. Behind you. This way. Behind you. Turn around.
Oh. Sorry, I was following your name tag.
Oh, wait. Search. Oh, torn cloth and hardwood. All that was down
Where the fuck was it?
here. Here somewhere. I saw you.
I know I ran up the stairs.
Was it in a building?
Yeah. I found something glowing red and it's called the Ring of Rapacity.
Oh. Did we clear out this encampment? I think we did. Did I break that?
Oh, I'm seeing more red glowing stuff. Okay.
Shadow switching sides, lol, hi.
Hi, Shadow.
There's a mine over
There's set up over here, I swear. I'm not wasting a lockpick on that door.
here. Do it.
Where are all the wolves coming from?
I don't know. They're just showing up.
There's another bad guy that's not a wolf over here.
Oh! Ah! Jesse!
What happened? What happened?
Oh my god, they can get me up here. They can get me up here. Or down there. Haha! The piggies, they're chasing me.
The piggies?
Yeah.
How are you being chased by pigs?
You wanna see them?
I don't know, not if they're attacking you.
They're a dag. I killed one. Give me your meat.
I'm sorry, babe. Shoot.
There's a tunnel down here, Chessie, if you want to come explore with me.
Hi, Jojo. I found Jojo.
Oh, you found Jojo.
He's standing still, but he's outside the place we're in.
Oh, do you got a lockpick? There's a locked chest over
do.
here that the boars
I'm
were
coming.
guarding.
I thought Jojo's marker was yours. I didn't know he was this close to us.
I'm over here. She could have kept that door sealed. How? Oh my god, there's a bad guy right there. How did we miss you? Oh, that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair.
Oh, hi.
Hello. In here.
The guy shooting arrows is back up there.
Yeah. Ooh. Copper arrow. Cool. Oh, we can explore the hole over here. Anything up here? Nope. Nothing up here. Nothing in here.
Oh, it was in this building, I think.
Oh!
Yeah,
Where'd
it
you
was.
come from? Oh my god. Oh, down here?
Yeah. There's bad guys. Be careful. I found a secret door.
Oh. Oh. Chains. You're fucking with me. What is that? Ooh.
Dead. It's dead.
I thought I saw a
That's what
spider.
it is.
Oh, there's more.
I know.
They're down there. Anything in here?
Oh, one saw me.
Gross.
Ew, bone rats.
Oh my god.
Shit. Ow.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be frozen.
He's dead.
Oh, good. All the loot. All of it. Any secret walls? Anywhere? Oh. Ooh, there's.
I want
oh,
my house to look like this.
there's a health potion, a greater health potion over here if you want it.
You could take it.
My backpack's full.
Oh, okay.
And my loot gobby.
I got it.
What was
Oh,
that?
there's more? Oh, I need to eat something before I go down there. There's too much crust in this pizza.
What? There's daggers
There's
and
not
a
enough.
ring down here.
There's not enough toppings to crust ratio.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, well, I'm at the door.
Oh, I don't have any more lockpicks.
I
Hold
don't
on.
either.
Let me.
I might be able to
Let me
now.
make some.
Nope. Oh no, I can. I just don't have a slot available in my bag. I have 23 frogs.
Hold on, I have one.
Almanac.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
Ooh, the Ring of Mana.
Oh, we're in the Enshrouded. Might want to get out of here.
Nah, we're okay.
I'm leaving. I don't think there's anything else down here anyways. Oh, it's dark as hell. Oh. It isn't in the Enshrouded down there. I didn't realize that.
Only part of it.
Yeah.
Like half of that room was enshrouded, the other half was not.
Oh, I just blew myself up. I was like, oh, what'll happen if I hit this barrel with a torch? It was a red barrel. Where we go?
We still need to find water.
Hi.
Oh my goodness,
Oh my god,
hello!
hello!
I just wanted to say, if you guys want to end up joining us at all in Golf with Friends, just let me know and I can get you the password.
I don't know what Chessie wants to do. She doesn't like
It's all
golf.
up to... Oh, well,
She
this
just
is
like-
chaotic golf.
If you want to go play, Onyx, go play.
No, I'm playing Enshrouded with you. I said we were going to check out the update today.
Oh, fuck yeah. The update's beautiful. It's amazing. Enjoy it.
I cannot
It
get up
is.
this
But
fucking
I
mountain.
wanted to come say hi. I wanted to say congratulations, Chessie, on the marriage.
Thank you. We're very happy, very happy.
Good. I'm so excited. I'm so happy for you. And then I wanted to extend an invite, but I must go now.
Go play your game. Hello, Left Chat.
I love you guys.
Love you.
I'm getting dead.
Bye.
Love you, Left. Have fun.
Oh my god, she's so cute.
Don't go up that mountain.
I can't handle her. She's adorable.
She is.
Where'd you go? There you go.
Trying to get away from those monsters. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, I don't know where I'm going. I can't see anything. It's all dark down here.
Where are you going?
I don't know. It's so dark. I don't know where I am. I'm trying to decide if that's a spider down there or not. It's glowing like one, isn't it?
A little bit,
It's
yeah.
not moving. If it moves, I swear to God. Oh, it's a flower. It's a flower. What were we looking for? I forgot.
I needed capybara food.
Oh yeah. we
He's
gotta
gonna be
find-
dead by the time I get to him. I keep getting distracted.
We gotta find the food. What were they called?
Paper reeds. I just need to find a small body of water that they might be around. I remember we did it once.
Yeah. Love you. Yeah, we found it around the starter house.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. I'm gonna go down there.
God damn it, I can't climb this mountain.
Okay, starter house. There's water over here, isn't there? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, somewhere.
Hmm. What's this one? Oh man.
What happened?
Oh, I ran into the Enshrouded. I'm looking for the water. Somewhere.
Oh, hey, my box.
Found your starter box.
Yeah.
Ew, I see a spider. Ew, I see a spider.
I have to adjust because my butt is going numb in my chair.
Oh my
Oh.
god, Jesse.
What?
Look at the baby sheeps. They're sleeping. They're all asleep. They're all starving.
They're so cute.
They're all asleep. I think this is where Pooh stores all of her animals. Yeah, it is. Where is the damn...
Dinner.
What,
The sheeps?
what?
We can make lamb stew.
Oh, jeez. Freaking enshrouded. Hey. That's what that bird sounds like. I don't know where the water is around here, where you found it. No clue.
I think I might.
Hmm. Huh. I don't know where it is. Looking though, I'm not gonna give up.
I wish that the lakes and stuff were like marked on the fucking map.
I know, me too.
Oh my god.
You didn't scare
You
me.
scared the fuck out of me. I did not expect that.
These nuts.
Don't talk in my presence like that
Who are you talking to?
ever again.
Oh, it's daytime.
Because I went to sleep. Get out of my house. You heathen. Oh, I've got stuff in here too that I have no idea what it is.
Have you noticed the comfort level here is 69?
On the bed?
You don't see it on the top left, the comfort level?
Oh my god. Yes, now I do. What the fuck?
You've been a very naughty little brat. Go to the corner and think about what you've done. Pathetic.
Pathetic!
Look at this, look at this.
What am I looking at? Whoa!
Look at that.
Whoa, this is cool.
Yeah, I only have one right now.
Aw.
I already made one at my house.
I have to go look in your house. I haven't looked in your house lately.
You
I
go to
gotta
my
empty my bag a little.
Get that bag, sis.
My bag. I know you want food. I don't have anything for you. I'm so sorry. Holy crap. Jesus, Skyla. I have so many boxes in boxes. Oh, a camera. Thank you. Oh my god.
I'm gonna take a look from the tower, see if I can't find it.
Look. And I put. I'm gonna kill this capybara.
Why? How could you do that? Tab to enter photo mode. Oh,
I edited my sign over here.
first person mode. Z. Pose with my
Oh,
capybara.
I just upgraded him.
Oh, look at you guys. Look, capybara is bigger.
You're so cute.
Capybara.
Oh, babe, are you okay?
What's
Yeah, I'm
wrong?
fine.
He said he busted a tooth on
Ow.
pepperonis.
You see my sign?
The one you put in here?
Right here.
Yeah, love JoJo. You're such. God, you're annoying.
What, buddy?
What? Don't be putting shit in my house. What are you doing? What are you doing to my house? Oh my god! He's jumping around. Hey, baby. Oh, you're so cute, and I love you very much.
Son, you don't need to watch TV on your tablet and the TV. That doesn't make any sense.
My son does that too. I give up on buying a blender and just blending everything. Watermelon. I love blended water. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna look down at this little lake below my house and see if there's anything there. I have all this down here too.
I have the algae. I think I just need the paper reeds.
Yeah. Twigs. Paper reeds.
I'll find some.
Just tell me where to find the water, Jojo.
Yeah.
You weenies. You weenies.
We can't find it. Help. He called us weenies.
Mm-hmm.
We're not though, right?
Liz never looks at my freaking messages I send.
Who, Twiz?
On Freak Talk, yeah. He never says anything.
Aw, Jojo.
And they're
Are
funny.
you feeling ignored a little bit?
They're funny.
Okay, buddy.
He could send an emoji or something.
Or something.
Give me
Just
something
go
to
ahead
work
and
with.
tell him how you feel.
What if he doesn't feel the same?
Oh, you're shit out of luck then. I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
I shouldn't fight with these dragons. Dude, you got a legendary chest real close to your house.
I do?
Mm-hmm.
I want it. Ow! I'm fucked. I'm screwed. I'm screwed. I'm being attacked by a dragon.
It's because I'm attacking him. I think.
Jojo.
Hey, you knew who I was before you decided to become friends with me.
I was forced into this. Is it gone? Where'd it go?
Oh my
I
god.
see some water over there. I'm gonna go check it out.
What did I just get?
What did you get?
Oh my god. I gotta get away from this damn dragon. Shut up.
Oh my god.
Fuck you. God damn it.
Oh my god. I love it. Just imagine you're Dylan and you're living with me and I'm rage baiting you constantly.
Oh, fuck.
Can you imagine being Dylan? Like, actually. I feel so bad for him sometimes, but I am who I am. I can't change it. I'm following the dragon into a cave? I don't know. Ah!
Felt like I had
so sorry.
Pizza sauce stuck to my teeth.
The dragon
I hate that feeling.
came out of nowhere.
Did you just fight a dragon?
It's chasing me.
I killed like 3
Oh god.
of them.
It's chasing me. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't think I got the skill that keeps them away from you.
We need to hop on
Yes.
Once Human again too.
Yeah, they have
We
a lot
talked
of
about
stuff.
that. Yeah, we talked about
new.
that.
Talk about using
Oh.
the
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's a slide. I'm sliding.
Where's the thing that keeps the animals and shit away from you?
Beastmaster?
I don't see it.
It's like kind of to the left, I think. Guys, there's a giant ice slide right next to my house. It's huge. Oh, this is fun. Oh, this is so fun. I died. Never mind. Never mind. Don't do what I did. Anybody want to come try to respond me or...
I'm gonna have to reset my fucking skills. Oh.
I'm trying to find this water.
There's a lot of water where I am. Dead.
Come to the water.
Hey, Onyx, have you considered not getting dead?
But then, who would I be as a person?
Did you ever check my message?
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah, I responded.
didn't.
Yes, I did. I could have sworn I did.
Ah, I found it.
You probably did. My computer, it won't let me get messages if my computer's on Discord. I don't see it on my phone.
That's weird.
It's very stupid.
I'm ready to look
If you need,
like
if you need
Miss
paper reads, I think you can go to
I've
that
got 'em.
fucking place. Oh, you got them now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You got them now, huh?
Got him now.
Who died over here?
That was me. I tried to wait for somebody to come respond me, and nobody came and respond me.
Is there anything cool on you?
I don't know. You can go check.
Jojo.
Probably nothing. No, it's okay. Rob my corpse.
She needs inventory space.
I do. I'm a loot goblin. I can't get rid of stuff ever.
Oh, I keep
Ooh, you got
everything.
gleam roots? That's not too bad.
Oh, give me those. Give me those. I just found those.
I don't know.
I've never seen them before. They're so pretty.
Oh, I love this song so much.
Getting attacked by everything. Didn't put any skill points into that side.
Because you're a thief.
I was gonna say the same thing.
You steal.
Because it's because you robbed her corpse.
You steal from your friends.
Over in the night.
I'm tempted to move my base.
Where are you, Jojo? I'm looking for you. Oh my god!
Oh.
You went back up. Come back down.
I'm down as you can get.
No, you're not. There's a whole frozen
if I go
river and
further-
waterfall.
That's where I'm at. If I go any further down, I'm gonna be under the water.
Then why aren't you anywhere near me?
Where are you?
Look on the map.
Oh.
Oh?
Attitude.
What do you mean? I have
I'm going back up to your house.
Oh. You're gonna do things in it.
What?
Because you're a weirdo. You're gonna prank us. I died again.
Forgot I had to go talk to this lady down
Reskill.
here.
Hey, there's bad guys above my house. You wanna come help me kill them?
Above your house?
Yeah.
Why are there bad guys at your house?
They're above my house. They've always been there.
I've got to talk to this lady real quick and then I'll fast travel over there. I got enough paper reads for the food.
No, you don't.
Oh, I didn't get... Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay.
I got 30 more minutes, and then I will be raiding out. Sorry. I want to go spend time with Dylan.
Me too. Damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna be hopping on off a stream when you do too, cause
Well, I'm trying to give
Fuck me.
myself time to highlight my videos and like upload all of them after my stream every night, so I'm not swamped with clipping and doing all that the next day, because I get so behind if I'm not careful and keep up with it. I'm sorry, Jojo.
you're doing better than I do with it, so. Hi.
You guys are lucky I haven't moved, like, because I thought about streaming. Where did the bad guys go? Hold on, they're in the snow area. I thought about when I came back from being away from streaming for a few weeks, I thought about having my streams be Wednesday through Thursday, or Monday through Thursday, instead of,
Ugh.
like, so I could spend Friday night, like, hanging out with family and stuff, since there's no school or work the next day. But I know everybody likes Friday night streams, so I kept it on the schedule. It's over here.
Yay.
I mean, that's the thing, like, me staying up later on Fridays to stream, it all depends on Dylan. If he goes to bed early, I'm fine with staying up, like, until whatever time. Oh, here they are, Jessie. Jessie. Oh, there you are. But if he stays up... Oh, God, I'm dead. I'm done. I'm done for. Jessie, I'm in so much pain.
Oh god, they hit hard.
I'm in so much pain.
Oh my gosh.
Why are you going
My
to
love.
bed, Jesse?
I can't run. I can't run. I have no stamina. Oh my god.
I'm dead.
Oh.
Why didn't you just stay where I was? I just
And
killed
did
one
you,
of
you asked why I'm going to bed? Because it's
you don't care.
Oh my
after
god.
9 o'clock
Oh my god.
and I'm tired and
Oh my god.
I'm still getting over being sick.
How the
Thank
fuck
you,
do I heal
Jojo.
myself again? It's not letting me. Oh, that's linen. That's not bandages.
Say bye-bye to the kitty cat.
Goodbye, kitty cat.
Bye-bye, kitty cat.
Kill him.
And also, I always get off stream early on Fridays because I get on early.
True. What are these things? Hill bugs. Oh my god, they're roly-polies.
I know, they're so cute.
The roly-polies. Cute.
Oh, thank you, Jojo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never been up here to this. Oh, Jojo.
Should probably use
Jojo,
the
help.
Jojo, there's
heal.
another one. There's another one. Jojo, there's another one. There's Jojo, there's another one. There's another one. There's another one.
Watch this.
It's following us right behind us, Jojo.
What are islands?
Oh.
I got stuck. Let me out.
Pussyclap.
Oh shit. I walked into fire because I'm a genius.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, you should probably heal.
Yeah. god, made the whole thing shake. Ooh, loot?
Yeah, what the fuck? No, the whole thing was shaking.
Yeah. I want to find a
don't
cave
remember.
to explore. Big cave.
Oh, look at all this. Coal.
What are you doing? Oh my god.
Coal.
Oh my gosh.
The hole. It must be made.
If it weren't for the bad guys, I would just live here. And watch over your
They
house.
won't come back if you
If you live
put a
here, they
flame.
won't respawn.
I don't want to be in the snow though, also.
Uh,
I could live like right under here on that rock right there. I've been
God, I
considering
can't get
moving my
out.
house.
Help.
I don't think I want the tree house.
Jesse, he's trapped me in here with him. Jesse!
Jojo?
Help me!
Oh god.
I can't get out!
Now I've got 2 of them.
No! Alright, let's dig through the mountain. This way.
You'll never be able to get away.
Stop.
Really? Watch me. I will
Ugh.
kill you, Jojo. Oh my god.
Aren't I just the worst?
Oh my... I can't. He trapped us. Oh my god, I got out!
Go! Ha!
Oh my god, I almost fell back in.
While he was distracted by you, I started mining us a way out.
Yeah! What is that? Oh, that's just the
Go
sunlight.
find out.
Oh my god. Don't let him get you. Bitch,
I took damage to get away from that fucker.
trailer park.
Guess I'm gonna be solo fragging it.
You're good enough at the game.
Go play golf with your friends. I really want to play Once Human soon.
I want to play Once Human again too soon. Maybe we could do that one of these Fridays.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Friday, of course, but...
I know next week we'll be reframing gaming. Lost in Random.
what day are you wanting to do that one on, by the way?
I don't know. Well, what day is better for you guys? Wednesday will be my
You're
off
the one that
day.
picks the days.
I don't know how that
You're the one-
happens.
Because I don't want to stress you out with
I'm not stressed.
with us like, well, because with the Manic Minecraft Monday one, it wasn't always possible on Mondays, and so I want you to be able to like, I want it to be flexible for your schedule.
Yeah, I could do any day really. Next week.
It's up to y'all.
I'm
I'm
in
good
the
with any day.
Enshrouded.
I can't get my fucking schedule bot to work anymore, so
Did you ever make food? I did.
I need algae. Apparently I don't have any. Underwater within the Veil water. I was in there. I was down there. What the fuck?
I just bought a brand new.
Where is Veil water?
Why doesn't
This
anybody
one.
stream on the weekend?
What?
Oh, nobody streams on the weekends.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
On very rare occasions, but
Yeah.
I like spending the weekend with my husband because it's the only time of the week he's got off, and then we have the kids every other weekend usually, so.
Same with Dylan.
I mean, with everything going on lately, we don't have the kids every other weekend, but
Well, night times are like kid-free times, so we can actually watch what we want to watch on TV and all that stuff on the weekends.
I wonder if Morgan's still playing something.
I bet she will be. Oh, guys.
The Outlast Trials was fucking scary.
Oh my god, I want to play that so bad. I was so jealous. I was
It's
having
so.
tech issues
Oh
that
my god,
day. I want
it's
to play it.
creepy.
I want to play it so bad.
can I please have my fucking mouse back? Thank you.
Event Honor Hall.
I just didn't want to listen to that song.
Do I not have a...
You didn't message me back.
Did I not? Oh, it's because I said out loud. Oh, yeah, Jojo, I just read your message.
Oh,
Sorry. I thought I had read it. Or I
I'm
had
getting
answered
plant
back.
fiber, but I'm not getting algae.
Algae?
Yeah, I read it the way that it's spelled in my head when I say things sometimes.
Algae.
It said to come here for that, and I can't find any. I'm just getting plant fiber.
Phasmophobia.
What? Are you going to play Phasma when we get off?
I'm playing right now.
What the fuck? You're leaving us?
Yeah.
You left us on Enshrouded? How
That's
rude.
This is the only chance I'll ever
fucked
get to leave you guys.
That's fucked up.
So fucked up. How dare you?
What the hell? Well, I guess I
The
gotta go play
audacity.
Phasma with you guys. Bye, Chessie.
Well, you guys go have fun.
Just kidding.
Because I can't play it with you without another copy.
We need to get another
unfortunately.
copy.
You have to make a day for 7 deadly sins.
Yes, I agree. Chessie
Or I'm
needs
just
to
gonna have to
play
beat
it
the game.
and get to where we are.
Oh. Okay. Why do the crabs still hit me that fucking hard? Why am I in the ground?
How does Tuesday sound for 7 Deadly Sins?
I don't care what day it is.
Because I don't know what time we're
You
doing
don't?
the podcast or what day we're doing the podcast. Where am I? Where am I going? How rude. I am never rude to my wife. That's my baby girl.
I passed my stuff.
Where am I?
What's rude? What happened? What was supposed to be rude?
Where am I? What's the event honor hall, Jojo?
It's for where people did like a build contest or something, and they get their name in there.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, Jojo hates us. It's okay. We know.
Yeah. He hates us.
What?
Realize the greatest builders of the night of horror. This place is sick. Wow.
She's got a full party.
Oh, that backfired on you, didn't it?
She said if I stick around, I can play.
Her community game nights are popular. Popular. Did I not get up there? You don't have double jump anymore? What the fuck?
Did you reset your skill points?
Apparently not. How do I get to skill? Oh, there they are. How to reset?
It auto reset it for us. You just have to choose what to put your skill points in again. That's how I got double jump finally.
Where's double jump? Oh, there it is. Where's Beastmaster?
Why can I not find algae? Oh, I found algae buds. Does that count? Oh, my inventory is full.
Oh.
You good?
Yeah.
I have so many things I need to
Yay.
cook.
Beef Grease said he's gonna go to bed after this and I can swap in.
Oh, there you go.
Cute
What, for
guy.
Phasmo or for the golf game?
I'm not playing golf.
Phasmo with Orchid, not golf with left.
See, you're not gonna get left alone. Ooh. Whatever's shooting me can fuck off. Leave me alone, crab.
Survivor, athlete, barbarian, warrior, guardian, battle mage, healer, wizard, trickster, assassin. Ranger was the one with the arrows, right?
Yeah. I get to play with Killvid.
Oh.
You get to play with KV?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I love
I love
her.
KV.
Chaos. Chaos is so fucking good at games.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. We need to get Haggy into Frag one of these days again.
He
also,
played with
by
me
the
and
way.
JoJo the other day. It was really fun. We sucked
He
though.
I
streams
love it
like
when we can
during
get
the
like
day.
a full crew.
Yeah, we need a full stack again.
Babe, you're not unloved. Excuse you?
What? He
Does
is
this mean nothing?
invited. He is invited to every game we play, and he knows that. I will kick his
I don't think he
ass.
does. He might know that the words have been said, but he does not believe them.
What does he expect me? What does he expect us to do? Invite him all the time?
I think so.
You are invited. From now until the end of time, you are invited. That's what I tell JoJo too. Always, if there's a
But you
spot
don't mean
open,
it.
I got the food.
you know, I'm going to stop streaming forever. Forever.
It does mean you're actually invited. You just need to stop listening to the voice in your head and listen to the people talking to your face, babe.
If I don't want to play a game with somebody, I am not going to play a game with them. I will not invite them. I just want you to know that. Like, at all, I will not invite them. So, you're invited. You and Chessie are a... What's spirit? You and Chessie are
Onyx?
a package deal. Yes? Huh?
I'm putting 50 capybara food in the empty chest.
Oh my
Well, it's
God,
not empty
thank
anymore,
you.
but it's like right behind him.
Me and Chessie are two nuts in a sack.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
That's
I have
a euphemism.
I like that my house is called Pretty Patty's Pumpkin Farm. It's adorable.
Yeah, I made 100, so I gave you 50.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to save some of the algae and some of the I
Alright.
keep saying it that way.
I'm about
And
to go
some of the
tag in.
paper reads.
Okay, thanks for playing.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Love you so
We
much.
love
Have
you.
fun.
Love you. Good
Good
night.
night.
How do I alt? Ah. How do I feed you?
Oh my god, my capybara. He's sleeping. Are you at your house?
Okay. I put food in your bowl, Mr. Capybara. Him sleeping. Get you some food, my baby. Oh, you probably want me to sleep too. I don't think I have a bed yet.
Come sleep in mine.
Hi. You're here.
I am. Oh. Look at him.
Isn't he a cutie? I need a name for him.
Mine's Capybara.
Capybara. I love that.
She is Capybara, and I love her.
Capybara and Kathy Bar.
Capybara. Kathy and
Capybara.
It's Kathy Barbara. Wait. Wait. I'm confusing myself. Capybara.
Capybara.
So I have
and Capybara.
Yeah, Capybara and Capybara. Yes. Holy crap. I do need to get off. That took all my brain cells to figure that one out. It is 11:30 anyways. Perfect timing.
Yeah, it's getting that time.
It's perfect timing. Thank
oh my
you for
gosh,
playing.
you're so cute.
Who, me?
Well, yes, you, but the capybara also.
You say I'm cute so much that I automatically think
You
you're talking
are.
about me now. You've given me a big head.
You are cute.
You've given me a big head. Oh no.
Thank you for playing Enshrouded with me.
Yes, of course. It was so
I don't
fun.
know if I'll be able to. I might raid out to Left because I haven't raided out to her in a while.
I'm probably not gonna read out. Oh, Liz is having a ladies' night.
Let's see. Look how cute she
playing
is, you
Wizard
guys.
101. Who?
You.
Oh, me.
This time you.
Me. This time me. Friends vs. friends with friends. Left is playing golf with your friends.
Yeah.
I am tired. I don't think I'm gonna raid out. I think I'm just gonna keep on some music and upload more.
Actually, I think I'm gonna raid to Orchid because I haven't raided to her in a really long time, and I did get to raid to Left like
I raided to her
not
the
last
other
week, but
night.
the week before.
Yeah.
Because I know I did it before the wedding. I will be getting that video up, edited and stuff together soon, guys. I promise.
Oh, I can't wait.
I've got to mess with the sound and some of the video. I have downloaded the reception stream and the wedding stream, and I've got all the pictures and stuff. Oh, I'm gonna send you the pictures. Oh no, I sent them in the group. Never mind. I took a bunch of pictures of our wedding stuff in our group chat and Discord, and I sent them.
Okay. Hey, when you raid out, are you wanting me to help you with a transition real quick before you get off? Or you want to do that a different night?
Can I do it without having a transition?
What do you mean?
Like, I don't have a transition screen thing.
Yeah,
like I haven't gotten anything.
Well, OBS already has transitions built in. Mine is one that I just bought from somebody that designed it.
Like I have the basic ones, but I don't have
you can use
any others.
You could use like the basic ones, like the fade, the wipe, the fade to color, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Jesus Christ, I have Eminem rapping in my ear so fast right now. I could not. I could not think.
Kryptonite playing.
I have Rap God playing by Eminem, and he was rapping so fast my brain couldn't handle it.
I love that one. I love it so much.
I think MGK won that battle though. I loved MGK's Rap Devil.
Uh-oh, it looks like Orchid's Phasmo crashed.
Oh no! Alright, chat, I am going to leave you guys here. We'll do some music before we end for the night. And I love you guys, and thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you on Monday. Goodbye.
She's so
Goodbye.
cute.